Halftime Pizza and FightSaga.com proudly present War Week Radio with 5-decade fight trainer James Gogue.
Guys, welcome. Happy Wednesday to all of you. Wow, I can't believe it's already the middle of the week. And boy, it was a scorcher here in San Antonio, Texas. Yeah, guys, we apologize. We weren't able to bring you the Gogue Show on Sunday this past weekend. But guys, surprise, we are here with the 5-decade fight trainer maestro, Coach James Gogue. James, how are you doing tonight, sir?
Hey, Joe, I'm doing good.
Well, it's good to see you back. And I know you weren't feeling well the last several weeks, but yeah, we've been praying for you, brother. And you sound good. You sound a lot better, sir.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of, the little stomach virus that's still in me. I'm trying to get out of, I'm trying to, clean it out of my system.
Well, guys, and once again, if you notice the different background, we are going to be selling shirts. So, guys, if you, I'm going to list my email address. If you guys would like to order your official War Week Radio Gogue Knows Boxing shirt, yeah, we'll show you. Here's at the front. Obviously, that's the front. Gogue Knows Boxing. And then here is the back. Gogue, let's show them the entire shirt. I'm going to remove you from the queue in just 1 second. That's the back with the inverted logo on the black t-shirt. Guys, if you're interested, would like to purchase a War Week Radio shirt, I'm going to disclose at the end of the show my email address. Let me know what size, let me know how many. And I also am designing, and I've already designed a Ronnie Shield shirt as well, guys. So we appreciate you guys supporting the show. And once again, they're only available to our extended War Week Radio family. I know I wear a size double fat, so we can get it up to 4X, guys, and as small as small, if you guys choose, right? But, Gogue, did you see any of the fights this weekend?
Yeah, it was dreadful. There was no competitive sizzling matchups. It was a dud weekend. Yeah, I really wasn't. All the fights were garbage.
Yeah. And once again, I really felt for Kevin Rooney Jr. The original fight, Liam Paro fell out, and so they replaced him with Daniel Zorrilla from Puerto Rico, right? Gogue, which one would you like to talk about? Which uneventful fight would you like to talk about? The Big Bang down under? Or would you like to talk about the lame duck in NOLA?
Tim Tszyu, he's making a hit. He's been active. He's grown his fan base over there in Australia. He's creating a lot of excitement. Now there's a lot of buzz that the playing field's starting to get even with him and Charlo. Charlo hasn't been fighting, and this kid has been fighting. He's been looking good. You can see that one-punch power he has in that right hand, just like his daddy. And perception, Joe, the way he destroyed Ocampo, perception that, people are thinking, hey, there's a lot of people, especially in Australia, thinking, he could challenge Charlo and dethrone him and everything. It's still early, but if Charlo don't start getting busy and staying active, this kid's going to catch up to him, and it could be quick.
Yeah, I tell you what, he looks like a handful, and boy, yeah, you're right. He has those heavy hands just like his dad.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, though, his dad was razor sharp. But yeah, he looks much improved since fighting Terrell Gaucher last year, doesn't he?
Oh yeah. He's you see he's seasoned, more polished, and everything. That comes through experience, Joe, and staying active. Okay, and that's what he's been doing. His promoter down there has been doing a good job. Not only keeping him active, sharpening his tools, but, growing his fan base over there. Just like Don Chargan used to do, when I got into business in the 80s in the Sacramento region. when he was cultivating all the world champions over there.
Yep. That's it, guys. So live on Showtime. I was so happy that Showtime decided to broadcast that event. And he's becoming a huge attraction in Australia.
Yeah, he is.
So on officially Sunday, June 18th, at the Gold Coast Convention Center in Queensland, Australia. Yeah, Tim Tszyu scores a big hit and proves his record to 23-0. Makes short work of Carlos Ocampo, someone who actually took Seabass Fundora the distance, and he hands him his third professional loss. Were you a bit surprised that he caught him that quickly? Went right after him and caught him that quickly?
No, I seen it after he hurt him with that first right hand. I seen him, he stunned him and shook Ocampo. And Ocampo's defense ain't all that, spectacular. So it was just a matter of time, before he caught him again and everything. It's predictable, So, it was a one-sided mismatch and everything, and the perception that he created out there to the people watching is, like I said, the playing field is starting to even out. Jermell, you got to start getting active, because if not, this kid's going to catch up to you, and it might be quick, like I just said.
Well, a lot of people are actually stating, not Ronnie Shields. Now, once again, Ronnie Shields very familiar with Jermell. He's still coaching his brother, right? Jamal, but he claims that look, Jermell, even if Charlo moves up to 168, he is going to fight Tim Tszyu. But we spoke to Rick Glazier on Monday. He says, look, you have to question now, is Jermell Charlo still the A side in this scenario? Because Tim Tszyu brings a huge market, a huge audience in Australia. He's a huge attraction. And when you look at Jermell's last fight, well, even though it was a big critical hit, it wasn't a huge commercial success. Gogue, who's the A side in this scenario now?
Oh, man, Charlo, he's the champion, man. He's the undisputed champion, man. He's the guy. Tim Tszyu wants those belts, okay? He's going to have to play by Jermell's rules. Because Charlo can say, hey, fuck you, I don't need to fight you. You're going to have that WBO belt. And he's still got 3 belts. You know what I mean? So
that is true. That is true. Also,
he's going to have to take the short end of the money. Trust me.
There it is. There it is. And Gogue, that's, once again, Gogue knows boxing isn't confined to just the X's and O's in the ring. Boy, I tell you what, Gogue knows everything about this business. This is one of the reasons why I call him the Filipino Emmanuel Stewart. Knows everything about the business side of it as well. Management, promotion, matchmaking. He's got it all, guys. Gogue truly knows boxing. Guys, before we move forward, and once again, I have to remind everybody, I want to thank everyone for joining us, and remind everyone that the main event of the evening tonight is going to be Gogue's big fight preview for the expected to be announced very soon, Canelo Alvarez versus Jermall Charlo. And we're going to crack that about the 30-minute mark, and we'll find out, well, whether or not, 1, Gogue likes this matchup, and 2, well, what Jermall Charlo's chances are against this version of Canelo Alvarez. So, guys, stay tuned for that. Thank you for joining us. Want to give a big shout out to my brother Jesus M. He says, "Saludos, coach." And he also says, Benavidez too big, too strong, and too many punches to Canelo's face. Woo! What say you, Gogue?
You don't see Canelo accepting him as an opponent? No.
Well, and he also doesn't seem to be accepting, or at least wanting to accept, David Morrell now as an opponent. Are you surprised about that latest development?
It's a big risk fighting a guy like Morrell, who doesn't offer a lot, to the table. He doesn't bring a lot to the table. But either does Benavidez, okay? He didn't do great on his pay-per-view numbers.
Hell no.
So,
Look, and you and Don taught me this, Gogue. Promotions 101. If you're not a big ticket seller, you have no choice but to be stuck in tough matchups to increase your market value.
Yeah. Bottom line, it's the fight game, baby. You can't put asses in the seats, and you gotta earn that right to be considered an A-side.
There it is. There it is. Guys, we also want to encourage everyone. And once again, we want to welcome G Funky to the program. Guys, if you haven't already, please go subscribe to G Funky Boxing. He says, greetings, Joseph and Coach Gogue.
What up?
There it is. Thank you, guys. And once again, please always support my brother, G Funky Boxing. That's by far one of the best channels devoted to boxing on YouTube. Go check it out, guys, if you haven't already. Also, want to give a big shout out to my brother from Philly, the city of brotherly love, Joseph Brown. He says, salute Joseph, Coach James. Yes, salute to you, my friend. Thank you for always supporting the coach. And also my brother, Johnny Thunder. Love the moniker, brother. Love the avatar, by the way. Canelo with the duck of the century. Oh, chingao, brother. Ducking is a fan-driven concept that does not exist within the business of boxing. But risk versus reward is alive and well, isn't it, Coach?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, Canelo deserves that, though, man. He earned that spot where he could pick and choose his opponents, okay? Because he is the face of boxing still, not Gervonta Davis. Canelo is still, until otherwise, he can still demand and dictate the negotiation in his favor.
Yep, and there it is. Gogue. Now, I didn't get to see this. El único cocho. Thank you for joining us, sir. He says, Ali versus Guzman was the fight of the weekend. I didn't get to see that. Do you?
Who?
Ali versus Guzman. I really don't know what card that was on. I don't even know what he's talking about. Did you see anything like that?
I don't watch a lot of boxing. I don't even know these motherfuckers.
I'm assuming that was on the DAZN card, maybe. I don't know. I'll take a look because we're going to be talking about Regis Prograis here in just a bit. Now, once again, guys, if you wonder why I pronounce his name Regis Prograis, is because that's how I first was introduced to him. Back when his old manager, J. John, remember him?
Mm-hmm.
His old manager and promoter, J. John. Yeah, that's how he introduced me to Regis. So guess what? I'm calling him Regis Prograis, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Yes, Ramla Ali versus Yulisa Guzman. That was a female match, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Not a huge fan of that. Not a huge fan of female boxing. But hey, man, if you guys are, more power to you if you guys enjoy that. We're going to be talking about that fight card in a second. El Único. Thank you for joining us, sir. Joseph Brown says, Tim Zoo's mic skills are improving as well. Guys, that's very, very important. If you're going to be in the entertainment field, and especially in this era of social media, you've got to be able to speak to your audience. Charisma is a lot in attracting a wider, bigger, mainstream and casual audience, right?
You got to be a salesman, man, not only a fighter. You got to be a salesman.
That's it. Just ask Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
Oh, and I also want to thank, excuse me. I also want to thank EJ, ElectroChat. Guys, if you haven't already, please go subscribe to my brother EJ. He always is very insightful. Love his channel. He says, hello, my brother Joseph and Coach Gogue. Hello to you, sir. Thank you for always supporting the coach. And Joseph Brown also agrees with you, brother. He says, Coach Gogue, I still like Charlo as well.
Yeah.
Why does everyone in the industry then state, like most people within the business that I've talked to, they insist that this is now a 50-50 fight?
Perception, the way he looked, he destroyed Ocampo, okay? And the way he did it, he was very impressive. It's the perception. But, there's a difference between perception and reality, okay? The reality is Charlo is still the man, all right? He hasn't fought since his last fight against, what's that guy's name? Castano to unify the title.
That's right.
But if he keeps on staying on the shelf, the knives are going to get dull. He needs to stay active. This guy is closing the distance. the playing field is starting to get even. So yeah, that's his perception, Joe. It's just like when Jerry Cooney, when he knocked out Ken Norton, he destroyed him in the first round. That perception out there in white America, oh my God, look what he just did to Norton. Here's a guy that won 15 rounds with the heavyweight champion of the world, tooth and nails, and lost it in the last round. And look what he did to Cooney. Look what Cooney did to him. He just destroyed him. But the thing is, Norton, by the time he fought Cooney, he was a shell of himself. He was shot. Okay. And he created that perception out there that, he would beat Holmes, but Holmes was a superior fighter. And it showed that night the different levels to this game. All right. But anyway, it's just perception, Joe. Perception.
And that's it. Gogue knows boxing. And I tell you what, we want to thank my brother Big Sully to the show. Salute, gentlemen. What in the world is going on with Team Benavidez? They seem all over the place. Guys, I've spoken to several people involved in this negotiation, right? From what I can tell you and what I gathered, just from talking to everyone, they didn't like the reception of the fans. They didn't like the reception, the interest. And I can tell you the articles that I put out, they did nothing. Reception of the fans for what do you mean, Joe? Can you explain that? Yes, sir. Like I said, the all of the articles I put out with Coach Ronnie's interview, Coach just saying that, it's tentatively slated for October. Not a lot of clicks, not a lot of interest.
For Morrell?
For Morrell or Benavidez, that matchup. Yeah. And what happened? There's no interest, huh? No interest. And so Benavidez's people are like, well, wait a minute. Why are we going to fight this then? If there's no interest equates to no money, no ratings. So now they're trying to look at possibly Jaime Munguia, Dimitri Bivol, or now listen to this, a third name in the hat now, John Ryder. All right. What are the chances of Oscar De La Hoya, though, allowing Jaime Munguia to make this fight a reality? Shit, man. Look at what he's been doing for the last 2 years. And then Dimitri Bivol's going to demand A-side money with his inflated sense of worth. Yeah. So honestly, in my opinion, I still believe that the David Morrell fight is going to happen. One, because Luis de Cubas Jr. is David Benavidez' manager. No, he ain't. Benavidez is. Luis de Cubas is Morrell's manager. I don't think he's Benavidez. Samson Lukowitz is the guy that pulls the strings for Benavidez. Yeah, that's his promoter. Right? Yeah. Now, this is what I just found out the last couple of days, right? Luis de Cubas Sr. is the manager for David Morrell. Yeah. Luis de Cubas Jr. is the manager for David Benavidez. I didn't know. I'll have to check on that because I know Samson calls the shots. You know what I mean? Yeah, Samson is indeed the promoter. Absolutely. And he's the one that has the working relationship with PBC as well as Steven Espinosa and Showtime Sports. They love him over there. And once again, Samson knows the racket. He's been a respected promoter in this business for a very long time. Everyone respects Samson. He's the only guy in that team that understands a promotional racket and understands that, look, if you can't sell tickets, the only way to increase your market value, just as you said earlier, is to be in tough matchups. That's the only way. He understands that. Yeah. And after scoring a big hit on the Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia matchup, it's a very, very strong matchup. I think, in my opinion, it's his best alternative because there's no way. One, he's going to want to pay Bivol A-side money. And two, Oscar De La Hoya is going to allow Jaime Munguia to face the Mexican monster. I just can't see it, Gogue. In my opinion, this fight still happens for October, either the final weekend in October, from what I was told, or the first weekend in November. Yeah. Still happens, guys. And it's so easy to make because look, you've got father and son representing both camps.
Yeah. So we'll see.
That's just some insider information for you guys. Okay. Also want to give a big shout out to my brother and my co-host for Ronnie Shields, Real Boxing with Ronnie Shields, every Tuesday evening. My brother James from the Boxing Source. Guys, if you haven't already subscribed, please go do so right now to the Boxing Source. And go visit theboxingsource.net. I have a huge article coming out tomorrow morning. Almost finished with it. Also want to give a big shout out to my brother, Punchy. Thank you for always supporting the coach, sir. We love you on this show, man. Heron, Gogue, salute legends. Salute to you, my friend.
What up?
So much, brother. I bet you would look great in a brand new Gogue Knows Boxing t-shirt, wouldn't you? And there it is. Tell you what, like I said, I'm going to disclose my email address. Just go ahead and let me know how many you want. And let me know what size you wear, okay? And I'll send you the appropriate information as far as shipping and how much it's going to cost. I just need to know how many to order, guys, okay? Let's see. Joseph Brown. Mungia, that's a garbage fight. No one wants to see that fight, but hell, if they did actually put that together, how popular would that be in Southern California, Coach?
You got to put it where it's going to draw. Either in Arizona, where what's his name lived, where he used to live, Phoenix, or Southern Cal, where Mungia is becoming more popular over there. That would sell over there. That fight, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It may be a garbage fight, but I'll tell you what, it would sell. But I don't think it's going to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly.
We want to welcome Khalid's show. Thank you so much for always supporting the coach. He says, seems like Benavidez and his team are realizing Morrell is a high risk with low reward.
Yeah.
G Funky Boxing. Only ignorant fanboys are trashing Samson Lukowitz. Yep.
You shouldn't trash Samson. Samson's a very, very smart, shrewd boxing guy. All right. He knows how to maneuver fighters. He knows how to move them. Okay, and he's well connected. Okay. So with PVC, not PVC, he don't do no business with Aram or other promoters out there. Just Al and Showtime.
That's right. He has a great working relationship with Steven Espinosa as well as Al Heyman.
Yeah.
Yep. Here to there. Cheers, Coach. Mr. Heron. Dumb question. No question is dumb, my friend. From the extended War Week Radio family. Want to thank you for always supporting the coach. He says, but will Morrell versus Benavidez be pay-per-view?
Oh, shit.
It had better not be, or else you're going to see a Luis Ortiz, Charles Martin type numbers.
Yeah.
Personally, I'll buy it happily, but it's a type of fight we as true fans need to see do well. Well, then you better put it on mainstream regular subscriber Showtime, my friend.
What was the pay-per-view numbers of Benavidez Plant, by the way? 120? Something like that?
Maybe.
Boxing is such a fucking joke. How it's just went downhill, man. The popularity of the sport has just been slowly, going down the drain, man. Only one fight in the last few years did over a million pay-per-view guys, and that's Garcia and Tank. The others have been miserable failures. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this, Coach. I asked Ronnie last night on the show, right? This has absolutely nothing to do with the topics that we're discussing right now, but I have to get your information on this. Get your opinion. Last night, I proposed a fact or fiction, and I'm going to ask you the same thing. Fact or fiction, Coach. Now, the way this works, you say whether or not this prognostication is going to be proven fact or fiction, and you explain why. Okay?
Okay.
Fact or fiction. Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz will undoubtedly perform, their pay-per-view will perform better than Crawford Spence and do double the pay-per-view purchases in consecutive weeks. Fact or fiction?
Facts. Everybody knows who Jake Paul is. He's mainstream. Everybody knows who Nick Diaz is. He's mainstream because of UFC. All right.
Yep.
They'll do Spence. They don't know who the fuck he is. Or Crawford. They don't know who the fuck he is. You know what I mean? They're not mainstream. They're just boxing fans know him. A niche sport. Boxing. That's what it is. It ain't a mainstream sport. It's a niche sport. Them guys are worldwide celebrities, man. I mean, you know what I mean? Nationwide celebrities. Everybody knows who they are.
Yep, indeed. Sad but true, guys. Sad but true. So we urge you diehard fans, go out and purchase the fight that you've been demanding for years. It's finally here. You better buy it. Or else, well, expect to see more of Jake Paul, well, and some other UFC schlub who's a shot fighter. Oh boy, look at this. The same night, UFC 291 will outsell Bud versus Spence.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. UFC is a mainstream sport. ESPN gives them love, nothing but love when it comes to promotions, spending the money on promoting the fights, okay, to the mainstream public, okay? UFC, like I said, everybody mainstream knows UFC. They talk about UFC. Boxing has taken a back seat to UFC the last, I say, 10 years or so.
Yep. Well, Gogue knows boxing, guys. You're not going to hear me argue with him on the show.
Oh, fuck, man. When you got, man, look, I watched the reactions of kids in other sports that are young, and all they talk about is they talk a lot about UFC. They don't talk much about boxing. You know what I mean?
Yep. Out of sight, out of mind, coach. When you put the best product behind and obscure it behind the pay-per-view revenue stream, yeah, you're taking away the best product from the mainstream and casual market.
Yep.
That's it.
So and every time UFC does a pay-per-view, it's a success. They never lose money. Because guess what, Joe? If they lost money, they wouldn't be doing it, okay?
That is true, and it also has a lot to do with, well, Dana White only paying his talent 20% of the proceeds on average.
Oh.
In boxing, yeah, the athletes get 80% on average.
Yeah.
Sometimes 100.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. So, guys, right now we move to Saturday, June 17th, the Smoothie King Center in NOLA. Wow. In front of an audience of less than 2,000. Chingao. Regis Prograis, well, got the dubious victory, a split decision victory over the, well, upset-minded Danielita Zorrilla, a guy that only averaged 26 punches thrown per round. Coach Gogue, what did you think of this matchup?
I thought it would be a lot better, but I turned it off after the fourth, fifth round. It was a stinker. I said, man, I ain't gonna watch this crap because I know how it's gonna play out, man. You know what I mean? That's all I got to say about that, Joe. I really don't want to talk about it. It was a stinker. Regis had a chance to, make a statement, to put him in position for bigger fights. And the way he looked, come on, man. You know how boxing is. You're only good as your last fight. Perception. Okay? You got to create that perception that you do deserve a big fight so you can get the drums beating, okay, for a fight like, with Haney. You know what I mean? Whoever, or Ryan Garcia, whoever the fuck is out there. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, it was a stinker. He did not make a statement. In fact, it was a tarnish on his resume. Yep.
And Coach Gogue, yeah, he was, and I hate to use this word, but yes, he was indeed exposed for being completely insufficient and lacking the skill set to cut off the ring and close the distance effectively, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, he got the victory. But tell you what, he's got to go back to the drawing board and do some work. Bobby Benton, boy, it looks like he's got his work cut out for him, because after everyone saw that glaring deficiency on Saturday night, yeah, guess what strategy everyone's going to use from this point forward until he fixes it? Would you, Coach?
Joe, depend on the fighter, man. Some fighters can't fight like that, move all the time. You know what I mean? It's not in their nature. So
That's true. That's
yeah.
true.
So
Well,
you
I
can't
tell
use
you
that strategy.
what, yeah, oh boy. And so that's just about it, guys, for this past weekend's fights. Coach Gogue, where does Eddie Hearn, where does he go from here with Regis Prograis?
Oh shit, Devin's a free agent, so try to make that match unless that dumbass doesn't ask for a lot of money. It won't be made because that dumbass non-ticket seller is going to ask for a lot of money. Yep. Both of them are going to, they're going to overprice outprice themselves, Joe. So that fight's going to be hard to make. The zone, I don't think they're going to want to give up all that money for them clowns. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, 2 non-ticket sellers? Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no, dude. And once again, Devin Haney, he's got no titles. He's going to move up to 140. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's still going to want that undisputed money, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll be very surprised if he fights again within 2023. But guys, let's move on to the main event of the evening. Guys, here's a tell the tape for the Hitman, Jermall Charlo. Guys, he's going to come to the ring at age 33, Coach Gogue. He fights out of the orthodox stance. He stands 6'1" inches tall in the center of the ring. He fights by a 73.5-inch reach. Originally from Richmond, Texas, now resides, trains, and fights out of Houston, Texas. He comes into the ring with a perfect record, 32 wins, 0 losses, 22 big wins coming by way of knockout. Coach Gogue, what are the pros and cons of Jermall Hitman Charlo?
Look, Joe, the guy ain't fought in 2 years, okay? Come on, man. I mean, how sharp is he going to be if this fight with Canelo happens, okay? His tools have been on the shelf getting dull. When he fought against Deverenchenko, that was one of his better performances. He was sharp. That jab was pumping out there. Them right uppercuts were landing. The straight right hands, because Charlo's big, strong, athletic fighter, okay, and he can punch, okay. He has good movement. He's smart. He counters good. But man, he hasn't fought in 2 years. You ain't gonna tell me there's gonna be a lot of ring rust when he fights a guy like Canelo, who hasn't, even though he's slipping, he's not the same Canelo. His skills are starting to erode. But golly, the guy ain't fought in 2 years. To me, he's gonna be real timing and rhythm's gonna be off. You know what I mean? His skills, Joe, he hasn't been in the ring. He hasn't practiced his craft in 2 years. Come on, man. It's hard to stay on that world-class level when you don't have activity in 2 years.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. There ain't really, strengths and weaknesses, man. Everybody knows what Charlo could do. His best performance was his last time he fought Deverenchenko. That last guy he fought in Houston, that Mexican guy, he didn't look good. Okay?
You're right.
And he hasn't fought in 2 years since that. Come on, man. Give me a break, man. I ain't no dummy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious why Canelo Alvarez is choosing him at this time.
Exactly.
And he's an undefeated 2-division world champion.
Yeah.
Who's been out of the ring for 2 years.
Yeah, come on, man.
Yep.
I don't care how Ronnie tries to cover it up or whatever, man. But Ronnie's a boxing guy. He knows the same thing. Geez, your fighter ain't fought in 2 years, and all of a sudden you got a few months to get ready for Canelo, who's not at his peak either. You know what I mean? Whose skills are eroding slowly. But still, man, at least Canelo's been fighting. This guy hasn't. Now, if Charlo was kept active, Joe, the last couple of years, shit, I'd give him a good chance, man. Because of his physical attributes. He's tall. I mean, he's rangy, strong, can punch, skilled. You know what I mean? The uppercuts, the straight right hands, that jab is going to be the key. Okay? All that stuff, Joe, just basic stuff that will give, Canelo problems and everything. And I think he's big and strong enough to handle that, the heat that Canelo's going to bring him the first few rounds. But anyway, yeah. But anyway, man, but he hasn't fought in 2 years, and the way he looked his last fight, he looked just he looked pathetic.
Well, I will say this in Charlo's defense, and once again, yeah, he didn't look great. He looked outstanding during COVID on that pay-per-view that only sold 74,000 pay-per-views, right?
Yeah, with against Derevyanchenko.
Yeah, against Derevyanchenko, he looked outstanding. And just, I tell you what, Sergey Derevyanchenko didn't have any answers for that beautiful lead hand of Jermall Charlo. But once again, will we see it reappear against Canelo Alvarez? That's a very, very big intangible, right? And considering that, once again, Derevyanchenko, that was in 2020, Coach.
So it's 3 years.
That was his last great performance.
Yeah. Come on, Joe.
Yep.
You gotta be a realist about this shit, man. You know what I mean? You can't stay sharp. Your tools can't stay sharp if you're inactive, if you're not practicing your craft on a consistent basis.
That's
the way
right.
it is, man. It's reality. Okay.
That's absolutely right, brother. That's absolutely right. W.A.W, welcome to the show, sir. We always
Joe.
The show. Yes, sir.
You're in the music business. Come on. You tell me you take a long layoff and you start to perform again on stage. You're not gonna be you're gonna be sharp like you were if you don't get that activity, huh?
No. In fact, I just joined, and it's funny you mentioned that. I just joined a popular metal band in San Antonio, and I told them, I said, look, guys, I haven't been on stage in over a year, and so you got to give me at least a month and a half to get back in studio shape, and then you've got to give me at least 5-6 months to get back on stage shape.
Yeah.
Right? That's that, guys, and I've got some serious work to do this because this is a really popular metal band, but they like my voice, they like my range, and so yeah, I'm going to record an album here in a couple months. How do you like that?
Well, hey Joe, but the thing is, but you understand though, if whatever trade you're in, okay, you don't practice your craft on a consistent basis, you're going to get dull.
That's it, and that's why I'm saying I've got a lot of work to do. I've got a tough road ahead of me, guys, and because I don't want to embarrass myself. Definitely don't want to embarrass the band either.
Yeah.
Especially if this is going to be on disc. So I've got a lot of work to do, guys.
And get this, Joe. Charlo only has a couple months. All right.
Well, best of luck to him.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, he's going to get the biggest payday of his entire career. And there it is.
What's he getting? 2 or 3 million, probably, huh?
Yeah, he's going to do it for about $3 million, probably.
All right, 2 or 3. Yeah. Okay. Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Good for him. And Ronnie's going to get that big 10%.
Yeah.
There it is. And there it is. Well, we've got a couple questions. And John, I think you have. Welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for supporting the coach. I think you have the wrong show, brother. It says I'm backstage the short bus, but Rinky Dink won't let me up. Well, we don't drop the link during Gogue shows, so I think you've got the wrong show, my friend. But thank you for being here. Hold on, let me see. Look at this. Double L. He says, I'm not a big fan of Devin Haney, but I do believe he beats Regis. Regis looks old. He's 34, guys.
Yeah,
I'm not sorry to say it.
I agree. The speed, the movement, the speed, sharp counterpunching. Okay, the athletic, young athleticism and reflexes and all that stuff. Skill, yeah, all that stuff. I agree.
And there it is. Juan Lizard. Thank you. Welcome to the show, sir. Thank you for supporting the coach. He says, I heard Canelo sent Charlo an offer 3 years ago, and Charlo's team declined it. Yeah, because it was a bullshit offer. It wasn't serious. It was less than he had made against someone he fought at the Barclays Center. It was a bullshit offer because they were currently negotiating with Danny Jacobs, and they wanted to bring him back down to reality. Just to prove that he had other options. That's the reason why it wasn't a serious offer, sir. I know this for a fact. I actually saw the amount, and it's absurd. Want to welcome Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. Welcome to the show, sir. Thank you for always supporting the coach, sir. And G Funky has the beat. Inactivity is a fighter's worst enemy.
I've been saying that for years. Since you know me, Joe, I've been I said I've been saying that for 10 years ago or whatever, 13 when we did the show. That inactivity is the fighter's worst enemy.
Yep, that's it. Charlo versus Canelo? Nah. Good evening, Joseph and Coach Gogue. Good evening to you, my friend, and thank you for always supporting the coach, brother. Now, this is interesting. Nicholas Parra. Welcome. He says, Benavidez ain't good enough to beat Canelo even now.
Who?
What say you, Coach?
Who?
Benavidez ain't good enough. Woo!
Well, I don't see Canelo. I don't see Canelo sending a contract to him. So, no.
Oh boy, here to there. Well, he may be onto something. He goes, and Charlo didn't even look close to weight in that little chat he had with Andrade. Camp will be heavy on weight loss. No. I can tell you this: Ronnie has him already close to fight shape. He's been working out with him meticulously over the last 6 months. I know this for a fact. Okay. Ronnie's not going to embarrass himself. He's not going to be embarrassed. He's going to get the most out of what he has. But yeah, I'm fearing it'll be way too much. Right? Welcome round one to the show. What say you, Coach Gogue? What are your thoughts on that, brother?
About what?
About what I just said.
About him being.
Do you agree with here to there? And he says it's going to be a fat camp.
Nah, man, he's moving up in weight too, so he ain't gonna really kill himself to make that 160. You know what I mean? So. Yep. So he should be fine and everything. You know what I mean? Charlo probably walked around 190. You know, so 22 pounds. That shouldn't be bad for a big guy like him. Yeah.
There it is. JD Spades is lurking. Welcome to the show, sir. He says, what's the band, Joseph? Well, it's a band called Seance. They used to be. It's some of the members from Bifist and Metal Church, right? You ever hear of those two bands? Well, they formed a band now called Seance, and they've asked yours truly to be their lead singer. And there it is. Guys, as soon as it comes out, our first single, I will drop it and, well, ask you what you think. Hopefully it's something I'll be proud of, and hopefully I'll do the band justice. They seem to think so. They seem to think that they hired the right guy. Let's just hope I don't disappoint. Thank you for asking, my friend. Also, Khalid says, Joseph and Gogue, you guys have been doing this show for 10 years, not on YouTube. We just started on YouTube about, what, two years ago, maybe? It'll be 2 years in August.
Yeah, we've been on Blog Talk Radio. We were back in 2011. That was our first show, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, 2011. And then I took 5 years off to go pursue music, right?
Yeah.
I recorded an album, signed with YKM Records, and you guys can find it. It's called Red IV, Red I.V. like intravenous, right? We put out a 6-song EP, and then I got in a debilitating car accident that derailed me and consequently put me on the sideline for a year, and consequently, well, the label dropped me because I couldn't go on tour. So there it is. But guys, if you're interested, I'm going to list the name of the single that was released on Spotify and all social media. It was called, let's see, I just dropped it. It was called The Odyssey by Red IV. Go check it out, guys. It's on YouTube, Spotify, everywhere. Hope you like it. Round one says, well, Charlo's inactivities are not Canelo's fault, Gogue.
True. That's true.
And
that's Charlo's problem.
Yep, that's Charlo's problem. It's going to be a problem also, well, on September 16th. And there it is. Johnny Thunder, he says, why don't you call out Canelo for being a ducker? That's what's wrong with the sport. Look, that's your job, not mine, brother. You're the fans. You're one of the real bosses of boxing. If that's what you guys want to call him, fine, so be it. But look, just like Gogue stated on the show, he has the right to choose anyone he wants to face him in the ring. He's earned that, being the biggest draw and the face of boxing in North America for the past half decade. That's it. Also want to welcome our brother Gus to the show, and thank you for supporting the coach. Thank you for the super chat. Joseph, I'm joining in late, but could you ask Coach Gogue who he would favor between Teofimo Lopez and Gervonta Davis?
Teofimo.
¿Por qué, sir?
Yeah. I just got to, if he, bottom line, if, Joe, he's got to stay active. He wants to retire and all that bullshit. But Teofimo, man, because he just, he can punch too. Okay. Just instinctive, fights real with a lot of spontaneity. Okay. Lets everything flow. You know what I mean? He's not so much, robotic like Tank. Tank can hit now. But Teo, man, like I said, he has ability to figure you out, shut your offense down, and and make those adjustments to make his offense effective and everything. I go with Teo. Right now, he's the best 140 pounder in the world right now.
Wow. Do you think maybe if now, once again, this is just fantasy land, but do you think Gervonta Davis, one, would actually take that fight, and two, do you think he'd force that bullshit restriction and rehydration clause on Teofimo Lopez?
Not if he's a fucking champ at 140. They ain't gonna be none of that shit. You know what I mean? So
there it is, guys. Gogue knows boxing.
Tank's really polished up and added some skills to his arsenal. But Teo, it's hard to beat a guy that's just a natural flowing fighter like Teofimo, who's very instinctive. Knows how to make all those right decisions in the ring. Knows how to make those adjustments. Like when he fought Taylor. Okay, after the first couple rounds, he figured him out what he had to do to shut down his offense, and he figured out what he had to do, to get in the flow, to get in offensive rhythm, to start, putting some laying them hammers on Taylor, and throwing the right punches at the right time. Okay, like catching Taylor with them uppercuts, them straight right hands to the body, the lead left hooks, stuff like that. He just has a good feel, on what to do in the ring, make the right choices, and he understands range and distance very well.
And there it is, Gus. We want to thank you for your excellent question and proposition. Guys, we just lost Gogue. He should be back any second now. So let me address this bullshit. Johnny Thunder, what's up with this? Oh, you're the media. It's your job even more. Man, you're shilling. He has a right to duck now? Well, I do write articles. I am a journalist, but I'm not a beat writer anymore, brother. I focus more on club and regional shows, getting sponsorship for these promoters, and I also do ring announcing and commentary. All right? Been in this business for almost 20 years, and I've pretty much done every job there is to do in this brutal, ass-beating, and often unfair business. Yep. And I've also been screwed out of money, well, more times than I'd care to mention. But in the media, once again, it's a fan-driven concept that doesn't exist in boxing. Now, if you want to actually go listen to that bullshit from other channels, then go right ahead. But boxing, ducking is a fan-driven concept that doesn't exist. I just did a video on it with my brother G Funky. You should go check out my other videos. It's a video in which I debunk the bullshit ducking myth. It doesn't exist within the business of boxing. Welcome back, Coach Gogue.
Yeah, I got cut off. Sorry about that.
No. It's your show, brother. No problem. No problem, my friend. You're the star. Look. And Khalid says, if Canelo's a duck, then what the hell is Benavidez? Hmm? Is he ducking Morrell? What is it? What? Dude, come on. Where's your double standard? Now listen to this. Johnny Thunder. Oh, LOL. Morrell's not relevant. He only has 9 pro fights. And Lomachenko only had 3 pro fights when he won his first world title, beating Gary Russell Jr., former Olympian. What's your point?
Yeah, Morrell ain't got a title. Not that bullshit, whatever that belt he got. That's not considered a title.
No, what I mean is they're accelerating his career path a lot quicker than most prospects or contenders. Did you hear everything I just said, or was I breaking up?
No, I heard you. Yeah, they're doing that to all those PBC fighters, man. They don't want to invest the money in developing these guys the correct way, like Top Rank, and they're just rushing them. Like that Gomez. What's that guy? That Gomez guy, the 54-pounder.
LVS.
Yeah, they're throwing him in there too. Real quick. The kid, you can't question his ability, talent, just like Morrell. But god dang, man, you got to learn this. You know what I mean? You got to learn this. You got to learn your craft. The correct way. And going through the stages, they're going from step A to Z, man. They just, what do you call it? Microwaving these guys' careers. Without that proper development.
He's only 25, and you're absolutely right, Gogue. Development is everything. Is within the 4, 6, and 8 round stages. In his 3rd fight, coach, the reg title, and he's been competing at the 12-round stage ever since.
Oh, this fucking bullshit era of boxing where you could get these fake belts. You know what I mean? You could do that. Back in the old days, he wouldn't have been able to do that.
That is true. That is true. Can you hear me, or am I breaking up? Am I all right?
Yeah, I can hear you, Joe. Yeah, like I said, Joe.
Yep.
This is the different era. This is, what do you call it? The Mickey Mouse era of boxing, where everybody gets a prize. All right. Everybody, a participation award, I call it. You know what I mean? All these fucking bullshit belts out there, man. There's no legitimacy of who the champions are. Unless, you win the undisputed championship like Haney did. Or Teofimo. He beat the man, okay? That makes him the legitimate junior welterweight champion, okay? But, right now, man, there's so many damn belts out there. Jesus Christ, man. It's, and that's one of the reasons boxing is a niche sport, because the mainstream fans out there are confused. You know what I mean? They don't know who to pick as their champion, because there's so many belts out there, and it's all, 90% of them are bullshit.
That's it, brother. That's it. But I will say this, though. Yeah, Benavidez, if he didn't think that he was more risk than reward, he would be fighting Morrell, and the fight would be announced, because that's a very easy fight to make. Once again, father and son manages both fighters, right? Okay? So once again, he goes, I got to put an end to this. Johnny Thunder says he was just a clout chaser. You know, brother, if you're going to come on this panel, come on this chat, regurgitating that nonsense that you heard on other channels, bullshit con artists who have never worked a day in their lives in this fucking business, then you're on the wrong channel, because you're listening to someone who has real boxing knowledge, who doesn't deal with nonsense and noise. We've got no time for that shit, Johnny Thunder.
What did he say?
He said Morrell's not relevant. He has 9 pro fights. He's just a clout chaser. That's just regurgitated nonsense from channels of guys. They're glorified fans with a camera and a mic. You want to regurgitate that nonsense? Go do it on Twitter, not on this chat. Got it? So if you want to learn, please stick around and listen to what Coach Gogue has to say, right? I've been in this business for almost 20 years as well.
Well, let me tell you this, man. Morrell, you can't question his talent and ability and everything. So, you know what I mean? He is a very athletically talented physical specimen. You know what I mean? You don't see a lot of guys like Morrell.
No.
Yeah, he's solid. You know what I mean? But Yeah.
Well, look. Once again, Johnny Thunder, and I'm going to educate you real quick. That's not a bet. No, it's not. But he's the number one contender and the mandatory challenger for Canelo Alvarez. But Gilberto Mendoza doesn't have the balls to mandate that fight because he's afraid, and he's probably right about this, that Canelo will relinquish that title rather than defending it against a guy like Dave Morrell Jr. Okay? That's the reality, guys. And now, once again, Johnny Thunder, how is Morrell third best in the division when he's never beaten a top 10 fighter? Resumes are contingent on opportunities received. A fighter can only face who's willing to step in the ring with him. Okay? That's it. Johnny Thunder. Once again, if you're going to hang it with the big boys, listen and fucking learn.
Hey, Joe, let's move on, man. I don't want to get involved in this trash, all right?
Yeah, exactly. It's garbage, Johnny Thunder. It's garbage. You're regurgitating nonsense. Okay? You're regurgitating nonsense. That's it. Regurgitating nonsense. We want to welcome our brother Tyrese Bowie to the show. Thank you for always supporting the coach. Gladiator School at Top Rank. Swim or Drizown. And yeah, you know what? I really like the job that Brad Goodman is doing. Now, once again, his assignment, Jared Anderson, Jared Big Baby Anderson, just fell off the card. They got former IBF champion Charles Martin to take his place. Do you like that matchup, Coach Gogue?
What, 2 weeks notice? You think that guy's been training? Besides that, man, he's just coming in there as an opponent, and he's going to go there and probably survive. You know what I mean? But it's a good win on his record. You know, a former world, whatever you call, if you call that guy a champion, you know what I mean? So.
And there it is. Oh shit! I tell you what. So this main event was supposed to be on this evening. Was supposed to be sizing up the matchup: Jermall Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez. But you don't seem to be feeling it, Coach. Why not, sir?
Joe, he hasn't been fighting. He hasn't been active, okay? And you know, when you're not, like I said all this stuff, Joe, you know, when you're not active, you know, your skills erode. You can't stay sharp in your craft if you're not practicing consistently, man. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, simple. So you don't think it's nearly going to be as competitive as it would have been 3 years ago?
It would have been more, what do you call it, more attractive 3 years ago, okay? When both guys were, when Charlo was active, he was in his prime, and Canelo was in his prime. Now, you know, you're talking about a guy that ain't fought in 2 years, and Canelo, a guy who's eroding in his skills. But you know, Ronnie's a great, you know, Ronnie's a solid trainer. He'll get him ready. He'll get him prepared.
And there it is. We hope for the best. Well, we hope for the best, guys. That's all we can do. We hope for the best. And I will say this, Coach Gogue, now once again, everything looks good from what I've been told, and everyone is hopeful that the fight will be announced within the next couple weeks. But I will say this, because of Eddie Hearn's working relationship with Canelo Alvarez, if Edgar Hamburger Langa scores a big hit and a huge knockout, makes a statement in his first fight on Matchroom Sport and DAZN this weekend, does he have a shot of stealing that Canelo fight? Once again, he's a very big draw in New York City.
Who knows, man? You know, Berlanga can't fight. He sucks.
That's true. So JD, I think, has the beat, sir. He says, let's talk Stanionis versus Ortiz.
Yeah.
Predict fight of the year in San Antonio, Joseph. Yep, I'm going to be ringside. I'm going to be there with my brothers, Ronnie Shields, Rick Glazer, Steven Espinosa, or not Steven. Yeah, I'm going to be there with those gentlemen, and I'll be there ringside. So, yeah, it's going to be a great event, guys. Great event. And Ronnie's going to be sporting his brand new Warwick Radio t-shirt. Yep.
Who's Ronnie have? Oh, he's got that
he's
Floyd.
Got yep. He's going to be in the co-main event, Floyd Schofield Jr.
Yeah. He's got that Schofield guy and everything, yeah.
Yeah. So, Coach, Who do you like in this matchup? This is, in my opinion, one of the best matchups that you could possibly make in boxing.
When's the last time Ortiz fought? I can't remember.
Oh boy. Yeah, let me look it up, sir. It's been a while because of his ailments, right? Let me look it up, sir. Me? Here we go. Okay. Yeah. Virgil Ortiz.
Hello?
Yes, sir. I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, very good. 19-0 with 19 knockouts. His last fight was against Michael McKinson in August of 2022. So it's going to be almost a year.
Yeah, so it's still bad, okay, Joe? I mean, back in the days, I remember, man, once a fighter defended his belt, he wanted to get back in the ring 2-3 months later. 3 months the most. Anything when you start hitting 4 months and they start fighting, that's considered a long layoff back then. Yep.
Yeah. And before that, he fought, he had a year layoff. Before that, he fought Igis Kalviaskis in August of 2021.
So he's fought 2 times in 2 years.
Yep, that's it.
Fucking joke. Okay. How can I get excited about this motherfucker, man? And when, 2 times in 2 years, come on, man. That's an active fighter. Not only do you keep your tools sharp, but your marketability, your exposure out there, man. People forget about you real quick. If you're not fighting consistently, man.
Yep. Larry Liston said, Rick Marigon, the manager of Virgil Ortiz, and he's one of the best managers in boxing at this time, says that Virgil's recovery has gone really well and that he's in perfect shape, fully recovered. I'm excited for this one. Yes, I'm excited as well. Keep in mind, Amanis Stanionis, well, he was next in line to fight Errol Spence Jr., and he, took some step-aside money to allow the Ugas fight to take place. So he's been terribly inactive as well, Coach.
How many fights has he had in the last 2 years?
I don't know. Let's check it out.
These fucking guys. That's why boxing's such a fucking joke nowadays, man. These motherfuckers don't practice their crap on a consistent basis. You forget about them.
That's it. Guys, once again, I love doing Coach Gogue's show because you get a healthy dose of reality, and we always learn something. His last fight was on the undercard, listen to this, of Errol Spence Jr. and Danny Swift Garcia back in April of 2022, Coach.
So over a year.
It was on the Ugas undercard, right?
Oh, okay. Another part-time fighter.
Yep. And before that, he fought Luis Collazo at retirement in 2021. So he also has only fought, 3 fights in 2 years. He fought Thomas Delume before that.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Yep, that's it, brother. That's it. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. I'm interested in Schofield. My buddy Mike Miller, manages the kid, so I want to see how he progresses. Because them opponents that Golden Boy got him the last few times have been fucking ducks. I want to see him in a fight where he's got to go the rounds with a good professional resistance. Then you see what he has. You know what I mean? That's it.
I tell you what, Coach Gogue, we're 65 minutes in. Let me see. I think there are quite a few fights going on. Let's look at the calendar before we give everyone an excellent evening. Okay. Let's check it out. Hold on, brother. My apologies. My computer's acting up a little bit. Okay. Let's take a look at the boxing schedule this week. There should be 3 separate cards going on this week, right? So let's bring everyone up to speed and talk about the fights going on this weekend. All right, starting on June 24th from Tokyo, Japan, early in the morning, Josh Franco versus Kazuto Ioka in a rematch, 12 rounds for Franco's WBA junior bantamweight title. Coach Gogue, you excited about this one? The professor, Josh Franco versus Ioka.
Where's he been training at? In Robert Garcia's gym or in San Antonio?
No, he's been training in Robert Garcia's gym.
Yeah, he's got to go over there again. I never thought about that fight. I didn't even see the first one. So,
First one was an excellent fight. Everyone says that Josh Franco got robbed. No, I saw it as a draw as well.
Well, maybe this guy Ioka makes the adjustments what he needs to pull out the victory, because he is fighting in his hometown. That gives him a big advantage.
Yep. I'm looking forward to it, though. It should be a great event. Always is in Tokyo, Japan. Boy, I tell you what, they love their fighters over there.
Yeah.
I wish they did here in America. I will say this, guys. Aside from our extended War Week Radio family, boxing fans in America, the diehard ones, are ignorant and they talk so much shit. They are absolutely the worst sports fans. They're the worst sports fans on the face of the earth. And honestly, I can't stand most of them, especially these jackasses on YouTube. Honestly, it makes me sick. Almost makes me want to turn away from the sport.
That's why I'm not on Twitter. I limit my the amount of people who go onto my Instagram and everything and Facebook. I don't add people. I ain't got time for that nonsense.
Yep, it's the only sport in which these idiot fans actually will sit there and argue with guys in the business, guys like yourself, guys like me, guys like Ronnie Shields, and will argue and think that they're right because they watch some bullshit video made by another fan on YouTube. Make it make sense, guys. They're idiots. Honestly, and this is why I love our extended War Week Radio family. You guys, my hat's off to you. You guys are among the most intelligent, on YouTube and in America. We love you guys. On DAZN, June 24th from New York City, Edgar Berlanga makes his debut against Jason Quigley in your 10-round main event in the super middleweight division at 168. Gogue, what do you predict that fight? How do you see it playing out?
I don't give a fuck. How's that?
There it is. And in the main event, you've got the shot Adam Kopnowski fighting Joe Cusimano, heavyweight 10-round special attraction in the co-main event. And the only reason why they have him on that card is because he's a big ticket seller in that area. That's it. And on I think that's it. Oh, no. Showtime this weekend. This is the one I'm very interested in. Carlos Adames versus J-Rock Julian Williams for Adames's WBC interim middleweight title.
Oh, Jesus.
It's his debut at 160, sir. You don't like this matchup, Coach?
Showtime boxing used to mean something. Now it's a bunch of garbage, okay?
Yeah, well, yep.
And their advertising has a world championship. Oh, fuck me, man. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this isn't the world championship fight, guys. In the co-main event, Erickson Lubin versus Luis Arias at 154. And this is a fight I'm looking forward to. For the IBF junior bantamweight title, Fernando Martinez versus Jade Bornea.
Yeah.
I like Fernando Martinez.
Yeah, he's a real ball buster, a grinder, boy. Yeah. It's a tough fight. I heard the Filipino guy can fight some too, so it should be a good fight. That should probably be the best fight on the card. Yeah.
Yep. I'm really looking forward to that one at they're 118 pounds, 118 pounds.
Yeah.
And there it is, guys. No, it's at 115. junior bantamweight, right? 115.
Yeah, IBF champion. Yeah, he's the IBF champion from Argentina.
I tell you what, he's a handful, guys, and he's a
Yeah,
lot
he is.
to watch. Yep.
Oh, he's a handful. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's the card I'm really looking forward to. I have no desire, and I really don't give a shit about Edgar Berlanga versus Jason Quigley.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about Adam Kownacki. He should be retired. He got his ass smoked like a cheap cigar by Robert Elenius. But I am interested in the Showtime card. And I am interested in the ESPN card, Josh Franco versus Kazuto Ioka, right?
Yeah.
Interested in that one. But that seems to be about it, Coach. Do you have any parting shots for our listening audience?
No. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. It was a terrible week of boxing last week, and hopefully the fights this week, that Virgil Ortiz, I guess that, that guy he's fighting, Stan Lomless, whatever the guy's name is, should be stylistically, on paper, that should be a good matchup, solid matchup and everything.
Yep. And JD Spades has the beat, right? Seems we need to talk about past great fights with Coach. I get the sense he doesn't like this generation of boxing.
Fuck no. Look, man, I came from a generation, man, when it was in its golden years of boxing, okay? Mainstream, all right? Where fights were easy to make, where fighters were consistently fighting all the time. The best fighting the best, all right? In their prime, all right? And when boxing was on all mainstream television networks, Fox, ABC, NBC, CBS, on a consistent basis every week. The best fighting the best, okay? None of this marinating and all this bullshit, okay? You always got the heavyweight champ, Larry Holmes, was always in good, entertaining fights. When there was only 2 belts back in that era, the BA and the BC, all right? Yep. Yeah, but now it's a fucking joke. They got more belts, and then I use toilet paper, and everybody calls himself a champion and everything. And these fighters are not mentally as tough as the ones back then. All right. Okay. When it's time to get down, when it got nasty in there, when it got tough, they bit down and fought through adversity. Now, fuck, they're ready to throw in the towel. Well, Ryan Garcia was a good example of that. You know what I mean? It's just these fighters ain't got that mental toughness, that mental and physical resilience, and or a high degree of mental intestinal fortitude like the fighters in the past, man. Nah, fuck no. These fighters ain't. You can't compare the fighters now to the ones in the past. Nah.
Yep, that's absolutely true.
Now there's a few of them I got a lot of respect for, like Lomachenko. You know what I mean? He's a real fighter, and a few of them are out there. They're out there, man. You know what I mean? But 90% of them, I could give a shit. But there, maybe 8% of them out there, like Inoue, I like him. He's a fighter. Okay. Yep. And there's a few others I like out there, man. You know what I mean? Crawford, I think he's an exceptional fighter. I don't like his I didn't like the way this fight with Spence was handled. It should have been done years back, but back then, there's so much politics in boxing. Fights are hard to get made nowadays, but that, you know what I mean? There's a few of them. I don't think all of them are dog shit, but majority of them are. But there's a lot of good ones out there. I mean, there's some good ones out there, man. That I like. I like that are or the ones that are coming up and everything, man. You know what I mean? But guys like Haney, come on, the way they bend the rules for that motherfucker, weigh-in rules so he could weigh in at 6 a.m. or whatever, so he could get 40. It gives him 40 hours to dehydrate, so he can rehydrate. 40 hours. He would have never lasted in the olden days where they did same day weigh-ins at 12 o'clock, 10 to 12 o'clock, and you fought 8 hours later. That was your recovery time, man. And you had to make weight. And back then, Joe, fighters always made weight. I can't recall very, very rarely when fighters didn't make weight. Mm-hmm. Now it's a fucking what do you call it? A virus. You know what I mean? It's a pandemic. But anyway, man, Joe, yeah, I try to stay positive and everything, man. And but I'm just being upfront, man.
Yeah.
Look at our USA amateur boxing. I've been keeping an eye on that. None of them motherfuckers got my attention. The talent coming from USA boxing ain't shit. Ain't shit. You can't compare it. Them guys from the fighters in the past coming out of the amateurs, like when Pernell Whitaker came out of the amateurs. Oh my God, he was like a seasoned pro already, man. You know what I mean? Professional level skill sets. Roy Jones Jr., all them guys back then. De La Hoya, I seen them all. Tyson, I seen them all. Holyfield, when they were amateurs, I seen them all.
Yep.
But these motherfuckers, I look at them now. The fighters coming out of USA boxing, I laugh. Guys that are number one or number two. A few girl fighters are better than the guys. There's a few girl fighters that I'm like, okay, shit. I'm impressed with their skills. They got more skills than them fucking guys I see out there. When I look at them fight, I'm like, oh Jesus Christ. Now who is it a reflection on? Their coaches.
That's it.
Okay, their coaches are not preparing them right, not training them right, not developing the proper skill sets. All right, hey Joe, man, I seen it, man. I know the difference between the great fighters in the past coming out of the amateurs and now. And back then, the amateurs used to be mainstream. They used to be shown on mainstream TV, ABC, Wild World Sports. So when they turned pro, you knew who the fuck they were. You know what I mean? They already had a name. All right.
Yep.
Okay. You knew who Whitaker was. You know guys like Vinny Pazienza who fought on that the USA versus the World series on ABC Wild World Sports. You knew who the top amateurs were.
Yep.
So when they turned pro, you knew who they were. You knew who De La Hoya was. He was already a mainstream fucking star when he turned pro. Nowadays, it's a fucking joke. They don't give no love to USA boxing, which I don't blame because none of them guys can fight.
Tell you what, guys, Gogue knows boxing.
Oh, fuck. Nobody's going to argue with me about this. I lived in all these eras. I remember Sugar Ray Leonard when I started following amateur boxing. 76 Olympics, Michael Spinks, Sugar Ray Leonard, Howard Davis Jr., Leon Spinks. Shit, them guys are pretty solid.
Yep.
Shit. Them guys are pretty solid coming, them guys were like seasoned pros turning, when it was time to go pro. The 84 class with Whitaker, Holyfield, and Meldrick Taylor, Mark Breland. The guys were like seasoned pros. But the thing is, Joe, they didn't rush them. Not like nowadays, they seasoned them correctly in the 6, the 8s, the 10 rounders. They took their time. They were patient with them. Nowadays, you get a talent like these guys, they'll fuck it all. They just throw them into a title fight, 3 or 4 fights. Come on, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean?
Promoter who seems to be cultivating prospects the right way is Top Rank.
Look, Joe, they've been in business for 50 years.
Yep.
Okay? They know what the fuck they're doing. They got 4 or 5 guys in the Hall of Fame that work for Top Rank. All right? What does that tell you? Yeah, PBC. PBC. They don't know how to develop and cultivate the new talent coming up. I mean, look at all the talent they got coming up, Joe. The young talent. You name one that gets your attention.
Yoelvis Gomez. Yep.
And?
Yeah, he's got to be competing this weekend, and yes, they're rushing him along.
I mean, come on, Joe. I mean, young talent, American talent.
American talent. Gary Antoine Russell.
Okay. Who the fuck knows? Who knows him?
Nobody.
When I mean cultivate them, get them develop their marketability while they're cultivating. That's what Top Rank does. They develop their fighters, and they season them right, but they develop their marketability because they have the #1 platform in boxing, ESPN. Okay, but name these fucking guys from PBC, the future stars. They got to get fucking imports. They got to import these motherfuckers from these communist countries and everything. You know what I mean? But anyway, man.
You were trying to cultivate Sebastian Fundora, and he got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
I really can't think of any more. I mean,
nah, they don't got nobody. Jesus Ramos, he don't look like shit. That Joey Spencer's garbage. That Vito Macheki, come on, give me a break. It's fucking dog shit. I mean, come on. I mean, Omar Juarez, that guy Louis DeCubas Jr. signed.
Here comes a question from JD Spades. Has Al Heyman hurt boxing? Oh boy, don't get started on that one.
He's the biggest cancer in boxing in the last 10, 13, 15 years. He has prevented more big fights than anybody in the history of boxing. Okay, at least Arum and King, they were fucking rivals and they were enemies, but they still broke bread and made sure the biggest fights happened. Okay, Al Heyman totally obstructed big fights from happening. This fight with Spence and Crawford, it would have happened back then if he only would have worked with Arum to get it done. You know what I mean? But he didn't. Now, now these motherfuckers are in their 30s. You know what I mean? Come on, man. And they want us to get excited and support him. Fuck you, man. That's what I got to say.
Do you remember that, guys? Do you remember that old meme with Kermit the Frog just kicking back, drinking a glass of tea? Well, that's me right now listening to Gogue, drinking a glass of Lynchburg lemonade. Thank you, Jack Daniels. Here's to you, Coach Gogue. We missed you, brother.
Yeah, but hey, I'm just being upfront. Al's good, okay, because he makes sure his fighters got paid. He had that big old whatever fund, that money fund he had from Waddell and Reed, and made sure he $500 million or whatever, and he made sure the fighters got paid from that fund. Way over their market value. Like guys like Omar Figueroa, oh God, getting paid $1.3 million. Give me a break. And all of them like,
yeah, since the well ran dry, you saw Sean Porter decide to retire. When's the last time you've seen Keith Thurman fight?
Yeah, these guys don't want to fight for cheaper money because when you get spoiled, when you get spoiled with making that kind of money, you don't want to take pay cuts.
That's it.
But anyway, he's good. He made sure he got his fighters taken, but he was a poison to the sport because he was the biggest obstructionist. Everybody in boxing knows that. De La Hoya knows that. This guy. He just. Like I said, when King and Arum when they were hated rivals, they still made big fights. De La Hoya, Trinidad, De La Hoya Chavez, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. King always made sure the big fights were made. So you can say whatever you want with Don, but he gave the fights people wanted and everything. He believed in putting asses in the seats. Okay, he's a real promoter. Fucking real old school, grinding promoter, man. But Heyman ain't no fucking promoter. He ain't got no license as a promoter. All right, he's just
right about that.
He ain't no promoter. He hires guys, so he can control them. But he ain't no damn promoter, man. Half the shit he would do is illegal because it's against the Muhammad Ali Act. Managing and promoting fighters, and you can't do that. And that's what Heyman pretty much does. Smart man, but. Nah, he ruined pretty much Showtime, Joe. Yep. Showtime used to be one of the creme de la creme, putting on the best, fighting the best. Now you get Adamas versus shot, past his prime, Julian Williams. Okay, all right.
Well, I tell you what, we are though, because of Al Heyman and Steven Espinoza, we are indeed getting. Well, Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford finally. It was out of necessity because if they didn't make this fight, it never would have went down. So, and it was Crawford calling Spence or something to get the ball rolling and all this shit. And it was either do it now or never do it, and they would have to live the rest of their life tarnish both of their legacies. That this fight never happened. That never happens in boxing, Joe. Yep. When there's a sizzling matchup and the fans demand it, you make it. All right, you don't fucking prolong it for 4 or 5 years. Like, fuck this. Joe, I'm sick of boxing. I am. I lost a lot of enthusiasm for this fucking joke, this sport, this joke ass sport, this joke ass business. You know what I mean? There's only a few fighters out there that keep me honest.
And the only reason I'm training fighters is it keeps me young. If I didn't have that a joy of being in the gym and training and developing fighters, I'd be out of this fucking in this heartbeat, man. Like Russell Peltz, he's through. He's through with the business. He don't want nothing to do with it.
Yep,
You know what I mean?
that's right. He is retired officially from the business, and he is a Hall of Fame, old school, badass promoter.
Hey, Joe, boxing doesn't. There's no resemblance. It's unrecognizable. Has one old school told you? Boxing, it's unrecognizable.
Right. Yep, that's right. It's unrecognizable. That's right.
It's unrecognizable. From what I grew up to love to now, it's unrecognizable, man.
Yep, and it's impossible to refute that, Coach Gogue.
Yeah, I can't. I grew up when boxing was real, not this fake bullshit with 20,000 world champions and look. These YouTube fighters, these wannabes, are getting more love than the real fighters out there. You tell me if this shit is ain't a joke. All right?
That's it. And JD Spades, well, justifiably takes credit for this geyser of this avalanche that Gogue's been going on for the past 30 minutes, and we love it. We love it, Coach. We absolutely love it. And yes, JD Spade says, you're welcome, guys. We love it, guys. And once again, if you guys send me an email and send me your size, and I'll make sure I'll get to, and list how many ever you want, right? Gogue Knows Boxing, guys. Get your shirts, and I will make sure that I get them printed, as many as you guys want. Larry Listen says, I agree with Gogue. They had to start making these fights since there isn't a lot of money left. Same reason they're cashing out Fulton and Big Charlo, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that's an interesting matchup, that Fulton and Inoue. I want to see Inoue carries his power from 118 to 122. Yeah.
Yep, because he was a force of nature, that 118 coach.
A fucking
scary. And look, my brother James, I love you, James. And you mentioned Antoine Gary Russell, Gary Antoine Russell. But when's the last time he's fought in DC? Does he even have a fan base there?
Fuck no. He couldn't sell 20 tickets to family members, okay?
That's it, guys. And Gary Russell's the same way.
And like I said, Joe, boxing is a dying sport. It's a niche sport right now. And if they don't start changing this shit around where they have consistently great sizzling matchups every week, I just don't see it surviving, man, long term. You know what I mean?
Yep, at least not at the national level. This is one of the primary reasons why I focus on club and regional shows, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, our fans are great, and they love their local regional attractions.
Yeah, yep. But, Joe, club shows are dying a breed. California, they don't have a lot like they used to. Arizona, all over the nation. Only Texas, where San Antonio, Houston, the Rio Grande Valley now. They're starting to do a little bit more. But you look at the whole nation; they don't do a lot of club shows everywhere. Fuck no, it's dying.
You're absolutely right, and that's why I'm saying, guys, the last club show I called, right, attracted over 4,000 fans. Now compare that to Regis Prograis in New Orleans this last Saturday.
Yeah.
This is one of the primary reasons why I focus on club and regional shows. Guys, unfortunately, that's they're a lot more exciting, a lot more entertaining, and fans genuinely love it. That's it. They actually love these local attractions. But I will say this, Coach, it's been very illuminating, very enlightening, very eye-opening, all of your commentary over the last 30 minutes. But we've already kept you on now for 90 minutes, my friend. So
let's get out of here.
Do you have any parting shots for our listening audience, sir?
I just hope this Virgil Ortiz and Stan Lonis fight, lives up to the hype. That Stan Lonis, his jab is consistent, precise, and it control when you got a consistent, precise jab like Stanlonis, and it consistently lands. That's going to give Vergil Ortiz problems. Yeah.
Yep, it should be a great fight, guys. I'm going to ring it ringside. If you're in the South Texas area, buy a ticket, guys. Come and say hi. I'll be at the weigh-in. I'll be at the fights. God bless you guys. I want to thank you for joining us. And Coach Gogue, we love you on this show, brother. Never change to please anyone, my friend.
I can't, Joe. I can't fucking bullshit. You gotta tell it like it is, man. And I'm just, like I said, man. A lot of guys, especially a lot of fans out there listening. I don't think they were in the business back in the '80s like I was. You know what I mean? Where it was mainstream and everything. So anyway.
And there it is, guys. Gogue Knows Boxing. Want to welcome. We want to thank all of you for joining us this evening, and guys. On behalf of the incomparable Coach James Gogue, I'm Joseph Herron. You've been listening to Warwick Radio. Guys, have a wonderful evening, everybody.
Halftime Pizza and FightSaga.com proudly present War Week Radio with 5-decade fight trainer James Gogue.